everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea. It's nice to have you guys here. So, full disclosure, this was supposed to be a vlog today. Already cried my tears. I think I might be more or less over it. I'm gonna pretend. Yeah, I did something that I have never done in almost 5 years of vlogging, and I deleted a whole vlog's worth of footage off my memory card. It happens. It just hasn't happened to me until now. I won't lie, I was gutted when I realized, like, my heart just stopped. I went to import the footage a little while ago because I was going to start editing it, even though it's not due to go up until Wednesday. I'm currently filming this on a Monday. I was excited that I would have 2 days to edit it, because with the way that Vlogmas ended and then the 2 gift videos and everything, I was going to end up kind of being a bit ahead of filming, and I kind of want to stay that way. So I've decided to, because a big portion of the footage that was deleted was talking you guys through my year compass. That was 27 minutes just by itself. That was going to be the bulk of that vlog. So I thought, you know what, I can still stay ahead a bit of filming and content and just refilm that portion to put up on Wednesday. And if you missed it, there was a huge vlog that went up on Monday, that went up today as I'm filming this. My New Year's Eve vlog went up today, and that also includes my 2020 mashup of my 1 second everyday clips. Today I wanted to talk about the year compass, and that's really all I've been doing over the last few days. So the other footage that was deleted was New Year's Day at my parents' house, hanging out with my parents, hanging out with the dogs. Mom and I watched the New Year's special episode of Doctor Who, which was really good. Then on the 2nd, we watched some more TV together, and then I got back over to my place about 4:30. I sat out on my balcony and I did the second portion of the year compass. In the New Year's Eve vlog, you'll see that I started filling this out. I did the previous year portion on the 30th, I think it was. And then I gave myself New Year's Eve and New Year's Day to just relax and enjoy the holiday and kind of think about the past year. And then when I got back over to my place on the 2nd, I sat out on my balcony and I just kind of went through the year ahead portion and really thought through how I want this year to be. And that's what we're gonna talk about in a second. And then yesterday, I just watched TV. I've been rewatching Downton Abbey. I did some reading. I did a lot of reading. The weekend really was just one last chance to chill out and relax and not do anything. And so the majority of that vlog was going to be talking about the year compass, because there really wasn't much else that was very vlog worthy to fill up, you know, one of my vlogs. So what is the year compass, if you haven't heard of it? It's a free download. I've previously done one of these, and I've previously done a video on it back in January of 2019. I meant to do one in 2020, and then it just never quite happened. You know, first Tamsin was here for the first 2 weeks, and then as soon as she left, like literally the day she left, as I was taking her to the airport, I remember I went and sat in on a department meeting right after I dropped her off at the airport, and throughout that meeting I just could not stop coughing. It was just very clear that I was getting sick with my 3rd cold in 3 months. It was not fun. And so it just, by the time I was feeling better, it was late February and it just felt like too late to do it. So I didn't do one for 2020, but I did one for looking back at 2018 and looking forward to 2019. I feel like that year compass was completely different to how I've done it this year. I think I was too unrealistic about some of my plans and intentions for 2019. 2019 wasn't really the greatest year for me. It ended well. 2019 ended great. I went to London in October and presented at a conference, which was great. And then I published my first book, A Brave Start, on Christmas Day. Well, Christmas night, technically. It was live on Boxing Day. So I published that. I achieved my goal of having it out by Christmas. And then Tamsin arrived on the 27th, and we had a fantastic kind of final few days of 2019. So 2019 ended on a real high, but the beginning of the year was a bit rough. particularly April. April 2019 was really bad. That was when my almost 5-year relationship just ended, and I had my heart broken pretty badly. Long story short, it ended in a way that was completely out of my control. There was no discussion. There was no understanding why. It was just one day I had a partner and the next day I didn't. He decided, he made that choice. I was not a part of the decision-making process of the future of the relationship. It was just done. And that was really hard because I didn't understand. There was no closure, but it really threw my 2019 for a loop. It knocked me sideways, completely flat. All of my plans and goals for 2019, even the ones that he was not a part of, just slipped through my fingers because I was so devastated and so confused and so hurt that I couldn't focus on anything, even the stuff that I wanted to. And so that's where the kind of flip side of 2019 came in, because in the same life update video where I told you guys that relationship had ended, that was also when I told you that I was planning on self-publishing my first book. And so the rest of that year just became focused on that book, getting A Brave Start out, sharing that with all of you. So a year that started really rough ended pretty well. So with 2020 starting, I was feeling more optimistic about things, but then again, for a second year in a row, kind of in that first quarter-ish of the year, I had something that just changed everything. We had COVID start. So that was not a personal thing. So 2019, everything felt like it got derailed, and I was starting over from scratch kind of in the middle of the year due to a personal change. And then with 2020, it felt like everything got changed because of this, international global health crisis. And so once again, there was this event that was out of my control that I didn't decide for this to happen. I didn't do anything to make it happen. These were two events completely out of my control, but both of them had a major impact on my life and my plans. And so after having 2 years like that, where everything that I had hoped for the year kind of got changed beyond my control, it's making me approach 2021 in a different way. So with the year compass, I wanted to take some time to really consciously look back at the previous year, because just as I can look back at 2019 now and see it wasn't all just despair and heartbreak and misery. There were really good moments in 2019. I can do the same with 2020. And so part of the year compass, the very first page of the workbook, is you sit down and you go through your calendar of the previous year and you write down every significant event or meeting or happy moment. And I thought at the start of it, okay, the first few months were good. There's Tamsin's visit in January, and then my birthday in February, and then Mom and I went to Sierra Vista at the start of spring break, and so I'll have those things, but then it's probably not going to be that much. And I still managed to fill up that page. It really made me realize that even though I didn't have as many coffee shop meetings and lunches and dinners and, things like that I would normally do, I still had countless, I literally could not have listed them all. I had countless FaceTime calls, Zoom calls. There was a house party using the house party app that I did one night with some friends. There were endless texts and WhatsApp chats, and I was still in really close communication with all of my friends. And in some ways, I saw some friends more than I would have any other year because we were all home and not out rushing around as much. It was easier to find time to FaceTime with some friends. So looking back through the past year, there are several pages in the Year Compass workbook where it asks you questions about the previous year. And as I was going through those, it just really made me realize that 2020 really was a year of kind of turning inward. It was a year of doing work on myself. You know, it was making my home more comfortable. It was really amping up the cozy vibes, and it was focusing on, you know, this kind of happened later in 2020, making the decision to switch to primarily vlogs on this channel because I love vlogging and I love sharing my life, and you guys really like the vlogs. I'm sorry I deleted this one. And so it's just, I feel like I'm making my home the way I want it, and my YouTube channel is a kind of virtual extension of my home, and so making the content that I want, building a following, a subscribership around content that I truly enjoy producing was a really big part of 2020 and something that I'm really excited. Like I'm so excited about filming this year because I feel like I'm finally making the content that I want to make. And there's still room to do kind of sit down chatty videos like this, but I can kind of be making the content that I feel really excited about and not be filming just for the sake of filming something. Just as I feel now looking back at 2019 and feeling like, yeah, it wasn't all crap. And I feel like already I'm having that perspective on 2020. Yes, it was hard. Yes, it did not go the way any of us had planned. Overall, I really can't complain about 2020. Then you describe your 3 biggest accomplishments and your 3 biggest challenges. For me, my 3 biggest accomplishments were definitely seeing what A Brave Start managed to do throughout the year and kind of going through a full year now as a self-published author. Putting out Brave With You, my second book, was huge. That was amazing. And then just being there for my students the way that I was able to be. I feel like 2020 was my hardest year as a teacher. Without a doubt, it was the absolute hardest year of my teaching career, and I've been doing this for over 10 years now, I think. So it was definitely the hardest and the worst year as a teacher. But I feel like I connected with my students on a much deeper level, and I was able to be there for my students, and I felt the gratitude and the appreciation from my students. I felt valued and appreciated by the majority of my students in a way that I don't normally get to feel. That was really nice. Then you write down 3 words that represent or define the past year. So my 3 words for 2020: adapting, resilient, and cozy. Big surprise there. Cozy had to be one of the words. I just knew that instantly. 2020 was a year of really kind of turning inward, both personally but also in terms of my home. And not being able to go out meant I was spending more time indoors, especially throughout the long, hot summer months. And so if I'm going to spend so much time in my apartment because I'm not going to campus to teach, because I'm not going out with friends, I'm not going to the movies or the mall or Target or whatever, if I'm going to spend so much time here, I want to make my home as warm and cozy and inviting as possible. Then you switch to the year ahead. And so you get to the 2021 section. And I really wanted to be very intentional with that. And I wanted to focus on things that I have some amount of control over. So again, thinking back to both 2020, but also back to 2019, where I feel like I had all these big plans, and then in both cases, something happened that changed everything. I didn't want to set myself up in 2021 with all these plans that could still get derailed, because we have no idea what the next several months are going to be. We have no idea, how the vaccine is going to play out in terms of how quickly it's going to be delivered, in terms of how many people are able to get it and how quickly the kind of community, the kind of herd immunity and all of that builds up. I have no idea when international travel is going to be a thing again. So there's a lot that I want to plan for that I just can't, because I don't know if it'll be possible for 2021. And so I don't want to set out all of these really rigid goals for 2021 that are so dependent on other things happening, because I don't want to feel like I have yet a third year in a row where everything changes due to forces beyond my control. My dreams for 2021 are largely focused on stuff that I actually have direct control over. So things like I want to put out 3 books. I've got my co-written book with Tamsin. I've got book 1 of a new series that I want to put out, and then book 3 of the Across the Pond series. I want to focus on more yoga and more walking, more mindful activity, doing things that just make me feel better. I've got a couple financial goals, personal financial goals, but also a kind of business, like book financial goal, which is a very optimistic one. I don't want to say, but it's definitely more than I make right now from the books. And I don't know if I'll reach that goal, but that's okay. If I only reach a quarter of it or half of it, I will still be very happy. But it gives me something to work towards. And that is something that, again, I control how much time I spend on marketing, on book promotion, on PR, on the business side of things. I control if I take the time, invest the time in reading and learning more about the kind of business side of self-publishing. Some other things, preparing to move is something, and again, we all know, if you've been around this channel for any length of time, we all know I really want to move out of Arizona. I don't know when that will be possible, especially with everything that's going on. So I'm not going to say that I'm going to move in 2021 because, first of all, my lease isn't even up until the beginning of 2022. I think it'll be up in May of 2022. The goal is not move. Like, that's not what I've written down. But prepare to move is something that I can do this year and is something that I have control over. So things like decluttering, getting rid of stuff, downsizing, if I don't use it on a regular basis, and if it's not something that just brings me joy and makes me happy, it's gonna go at some point this year. My battery died. Perfect timing. Yeah, so basically just a lot of cleaning and kind of preparing to leave this apartment, whether that's for something across town or across country or across an ocean. And so the verb prepare kind of became a theme as I was going through the question. A lot of the year ahead is a little bit more personal, but the one thing that I did want to share is my word for the year ahead. And the word I chose for 2021 is preparing. I feel like I want to spend this year preparing for the things I want to come next. I don't know exactly what those things will be. I have an idea. I know I don't want my life to stay the same that it's been. And this is part of why I want to move, even if it's just across town. I'm ready to say goodbye to this apartment. This home has been great and I have loved it for many years. It'll be 9 years by the time I leave, which is the longest I have lived anywhere. It's already, even at this point right now, it's already the longest I have lived in any one residence. And as someone who grew up moving every 2 years on average, staying in, I've never thought I'd stay in this apartment for as long as I have. But this is the apartment that I did my PhD in. This is the apartment I was living in during my previous relationship. There are still memories of him in this apartment because this is where I was living during the entirety of that relationship. And it just feels like, not that there's negative energy here, but just that there's stagnant energy. It's just how I've been starting to feel lately. Part of that is perspective, and I can change my perspective, and I'm working on doing that. I don't have to let myself stay stuck in the past. That's how I've been feeling. I feel like part of 2020 was coming to that realization that I just feel really stuck. And so 2021 is going to be about getting unstuck and preparing for whatever that next adventure is going to be. Self-publishing was something that really kind of shook me up a bit. It's like, okay, this is actually a thing I can do. This is something I can pursue. And there are people who have built full businesses around their self-publishing careers, and that will take time. And so there's still a lot of research that I need to do into that. But, you know, that's what I want to be spending my time on. And in terms of this apartment, it's nice, it's comfortable, it's safe, but I don't know. I still feel like I'm living that past life as a grad student, and I'm ready to start moving towards the rest of my life post-graduation. So I'm not judging, I'm not criticizing myself, I'm not going to beat myself up about all the things I haven't done in this past year or so, but I feel like 2021 is going to be about really kind of getting back on track after feeling so derailed in so many ways throughout 2019 and 2020. I feel like I've accomplished a lot with the books in the past 2 years, and I have big plans for 2021 as far as writing and publishing goes. And I feel like the fact that the books were the two things that I really managed to accomplish during these 2 past really difficult years is just further proof that that is what I'm meant to be doing. It still just blows my mind that I managed to get Brave With You written and published in just about 8 months. That just blows my mind. Of all the years, this would have been a perfectly acceptable year for me to just say, you know what, I'm putting it all on hold. And I didn't. I made it a priority and I got it done. I think it's proof that this is the direction that I need to be going in, but there's still so much work and research and preparation that I need to be doing throughout, especially this first half of 2021. I really don't think we're going to see any significant changes in the current situation until summer at the earliest. So it feels like 2021 is a really good year to devote to planning and preparing and doing that groundwork for whatever is going to come next, and really figuring out specifically what that whatever is. Because I have ideas, but I need to really kind of figure out specifically what it is I want to do over the next few years, and then figure out what can I do this year to get ready for that. Because what's the quote or the saying? A goal without a plan is just a dream, something like that. And I feel like I've been doing a lot of dreaming and not enough planning. So yeah, this has kind of turned into a really long ramble. Hopefully I will have been able to edit this into something a little bit more coherent. But this is roughly what I had said in that one portion of the vlog that got deleted. I'm so sorry, guys. This has been a ramble, but I hope it's been helpful. I hope that even if you guys don't do the year compass, that you're still reflecting on 2020. I really hope that you all can find at least 3 really positive, good things that happened for you last year. I know we've kind of talked about that a little bit during Vlogmas, kind of looking back at the positive moments of 2020. And so I think my question for this vlog, if you will, I'd love to know what your 3 positive things of 2020 were if you haven't already told me those. But I'd also love to know what your word for 2021 is. So as I said, my word for the year ahead is preparing. I am preparing for future adventures and what comes next once we arrive at whatever the new normal is. And once we have a little bit more freedom to kind of live life more normally, whatever that ends up looking like, I want to be prepared to then start taking those next big steps. So preparing is my word. I'd love to know what your word for 2021 is. So let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm so sorry I deleted the vlog footage. I will try to never do that again. I'm so mad at myself, but I'm really trying to just let it go because it's done. I can't change it. But there will be a new vlog on Friday, I promise. So my apologies, but thank you for watching this video anyway. And I hope you still enjoyed it. And yeah, I will see you all soon in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye-bye.